Once more into the breach, boys. Once more into the breach. That's right, it is a new month, and it is time to once again unbox the latest shipment from my friends at Video Games Monthly. Now, all I have to do is free this box from its priority mail prison, pop it open, find out what's inside. What's going on, everybody? I'm Jay, welcome to Square Pegs. I do this video every single month, and it would not be possible without my patrons and channel members. If you are interested in becoming a channel member or a Patreon supporter, links are in the description down below, because this is directly as a result of their belief in the channel, their donations to the channel. This is something that I maintain because of them, and they happen to enjoy it. I think a lot of you enjoy it. I certainly enjoy unboxing these. So, what is Video Games Monthly, you might ask? Video Games Monthly is a monthly subscription service where you can get 3, 4, 5, 10, or now 20 games sent directly to your front door. These are fantastic retro games that you get to keep. This is not a retro service. They've got retro service. It is exactly a retro service. It is not a rental service. And they have games all the way from the Atari 2600 up to the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4. So how do I do this? I take a look right down that lens. I open the box without looking at what's inside. I pull out a game, I hold it up to the camera, and I try to figure out what it is. And since my eyes are awful and are getting worse every day, I typically can't read it. So you guys get to laugh at me for being a ridiculous old man. I turn it around, I find out what it is, we talk about it, I give you a 60-second to 2-minute review of each game, we pop on to the next one, and at the end I come back, I add it all up and find out if I came out ahead, behind, or if I was right on the money for what I pay for my 5-up box. Now, what do I get games for? I get games for the NES, Famicom, Master System, Genesis, Dreamcast, Game Gear, N64, Wii U, GameCube, and something else. I'm sure I'm forgetting something in there. But anyway, now that it is freed from its priority mail prison, let's crack this open, find out what's inside together. The box is opened. All right, first up, we feel inside. We find our ephemera. This feels like a sticker. It is a Floydomania Running Wild on You, brother sticker. It's like the 5th of those I have, and that's okay. Those will go on the Friends NES. If you don't know what the Friends NES is, I'll show that to you later. And inside, of course, as always, is the social card. Now, what is the social card? The social card reminds you to not only share your experience with Video Games Monthly on social media, where you will be entered into a contest to win a free 3-up box. That's right, 3 free games sent directly to your front door. It also reminds you to update your damn list, because they want you to curate the things you own. And if you don't, you might get sent a duplicate. And if you do, you won't be sent a duplicate. Most of the time. Sometimes it happens. Let's be honest. This is a human service. Things happen. Mistakes are made. And all you have to do is reach out to customer service. Let Joe and the team know what's going on. They'll get a replacement game sent out to you lickety-split, and you will be good to go. All right? Here we go. Let's find out what's in there. All right. First off, we got some bubble wrap. Bubble wrap is going to stay. All right. First things first, we got a GameCube game. I think this is the correct way. Ooh, the spine is sticky. Yuck. 3, 2, 1. The Incredibles. I love the Incredibles movie. Let's find out if this is complete in box. It does feel that way. We have a manual. And the thing is, I put it inside the box of the game. Let's not be stupid, Jay. Let's not be stupid. Let's put this down. I'm a special breed sometimes, folks. It's been a long week. I'm tired. I want to be playing my Switch too. Yeah, it is complete in box. We got the manual. We have the tech card in there as well. We have the disc. Couple of light scratches, but nothing that won't play. Pretty neat. Let's find out now how The Incredibles is on GameCube.
Press this button to activate your button. Place to run, boys.
The Incredibles on the GameCube is pretty much every early 2000s licensed 3D platformer that you can imagine, with a few notable exceptions. So it's definitely like this is stock and trade THQ 3D platformer. Like there's no question about it. Like you can swap in any characters you want. You're going to have a nearly identical experience. But where this game seems to kind of set itself apart is that it kind of leans into the absurdity of Silver Age superheroics. So you have Mr. Incredible, who you control at the start of the game, who has all of his incredible powers. He's able to charge through enemies by just sticking his arms out. He's able to pick things up and throw them and destroy lasers. There's huge explosions. There's huge level designs here where it feels like you're in a bigger-than-life adventure, and I think that's to be commended. And it's not a bad game by any stretch of the imagination. Like I'm saying this, and I'm hoping that people don't misconstrue that I think this is a bad title, because it's not. It's actually really fun. This is one I've had suggested to me by folks in the past when I'm doing licensed titles, and I'm pleased with it. Like, this is one that is actually fun. And as someone who loves The Incredibles and loves Silver Age superheroics, it's one I'm going to keep going back to. I am a little bit bothered by the camera controls. Like, there's no way to kind of reverse things with the camera, which kind of sucks. But, I mean, that's my biggest nitpick. Other than that, I mean, some of the graphics are a little bit jaggy. Some of them look a little bit rough around the edges. But I'm looking at it with a 2025 lens and not a 2003 lens. And it's a fun game overall, to be honest with you. I really like this one. I'm excited to go back to it. And it's one I'm going to be playing for a while, I think. All right, what else we got in here? We've got, that's an SNES. That's an EA Genesis. I can tell by the notch on the side. That feels like an NES. And that is another NES. So we'll just go in order. Let's go SNES now, because I rarely get SNES games. And yeah, if you guys saw my pickups video from last week, you know I just got a super heavy hitter with Earthbound. So 3, 2, 1, SNES is NBA Jam. Taz-Mania, not even close. All right, let's take a look now at Taz-Mania from Sunsoft on the SNES. I think I've talked about Taz-Mania on the channel in the past, and I thought I had already owned it, but it's not on my shelf, so I don't. And I am stoked to have it, because I know I used to own it, and I know I loved it, and I still do. If you haven't played Taz-Mania on the SNES, it is a runner game where you need to avoid the vehicles, avoid the obstacles, collect the birds to keep your stomach full, and eventually catch all the kiwis on the level to complete it in the time allowed. And it's really fun. Like, it is a super simple game. It is super basic. It is not difficult to figure out. It's incredibly difficult to master, though, because some of the levels are a bit unforgiving when you have to dodge oncoming traffic or oncoming obstacles that are coming your way. So, like, it makes good use of Mode 7 graphics, so there's a lot of up and down, a lot of scaling on the level, a lot of kind of rotation and things like that, kind of that pseudo 3D look. And it's really neat. Like, there's certainly times where you're going to be going over a hill and you'll be hit by a bus or something like that, and you'll lose some life. And you just kind of need to get the muscle memory to know where those things are coming up. But I really enjoy this one. It's a fun kind of reinterpretation of the Taz-Mania animated series that was on in the 90s, and I'm excited to add this back to the collection. All right, next up, the EA branded Genesis cart. 3, 2, 1. Can't read it. Lotus Turbo Challenge. Oh, it's a racing game. Cool. Yeah, all right, let's take a look now at Lotus Turbo Challenge on the Genesis.
Marks, set, go.
Yeah, it seems like every developer in the 90s was making some kind of arcade-based racing game where you had to complete checkpoints in order to keep racing. And Electronic Arts is no different. That's why we have Lotus Turbo Challenge here on the Sega Genesis. And it is something that it really is an Outrun clone. It's a super duper Outrun clone, like down to the point where you're driving some kind of crazy souped up muscle car, huge field of competitors that you have to make your way through, and you have to complete the different sections of the track in order to make your time at the checkpoint. Where this game doesn't meet up with Outrun is in personality. Like, Outrun just exceeds in style. It has great music, great personality, great look, great design. Lotus has a lot of those things. Like, the racing is really well done. The levels are beautiful and fun. The racing is actually a challenge, but it doesn't lean into kind of the overt goofiness that Outrun also had alongside it. But that's not necessarily to its detriment. Like, that doesn't make this a bad game or any stretch of the imagination. It's just you need to know what you're getting into with it when you start to play. But like I said, the controls are good, the challenge is there, the gameplay is really fun. I think it's a really neat game. This is one I had never played before, so anytime I'm able to try something on the Genesis that I hadn't played in the past is a win in my book, and this one's really good. Genesis and racing games don't always go great together for me. I've played some good ones, I have played some absolute dog shit ones. I have no idea if that one's any good, but you've seen my review, so let's move on. All right, we got 2 NES games left. We'll go with this one first. Why not? All right, shine it up a little bit. It makes it prettier for y'all. All right, 3, 2, 1. Gyrus. Oh, that's cool. From Ultra. Always happy to get a rental barcode on there. I love rental stickers. I love barcodes. This one actually had the security sticker removed. We got a little bit of the residue left there. Pretty cool. I actually really like Gyrus. Let's check it out now on the NES. Oh, Gyrus, one of my favorite arcade ports on the NES. This is one that I remember discovering on the NES when I was younger, and then I went to, I think, a skating rink, and I saw Gyrus as an arcade machine, and then all bets were off. I never wanted to play the NES one ever again. I wanted to only play the arcade version, and there's some reasoning behind it now. Like, I look at it today, having now played it for the first time in like 30 years on the NES, where I realized that the arcade was just better suited for the gameplay. That's not to say this is a bad port by any stretch of the imagination, because the gameplay is right there. Like, it is the arcade game, just with the limitations of an 8-bit console like the NES. With the controller, like, the game sings on a stand-up arcade cabinet because you have a joystick, so you actually have not necessarily 360-degree rotation, because it's not like it's a dial, but you do have those kind of 8 points as you're moving around, so you aren't just limited to up, down, left, and right like you are on the NES. And the controls on the NES, it can be a little bit clunky because you can kind of get stuck, and you need to kind of rethink which direction you need to press to get your ship to move. And yeah, like, that's my biggest complaint with it. Otherwise, this is a fantastic shmup, a fantastic game. I'm very excited to have this one. It plays really well on the NES, and if you can look past the fact that the arcade version is superior, surprise, an arcade port better than an NES port, who knew? You're going to have a blast with it.
Very excited to have that. Always happy to add stuff to the NES library. Very cool. Gyrus, there it is. All right, final game of this box. 3, 2, 1. Tiny Toon Adventures, hell yeah! All right, see, now that one I can see. That is iconic branding to me. I love this game. One of the best platformers on the NES. So let's take a look now at Tiny Toon Adventures.
I love Tiny Toon Adventures, and I have John Riggs to thank for this one, because I never played this when I was younger. This is back, today I love licensed games, but back then I was not a fan of them. I'd been burned by things like X-Men and Silver Surfer, so I wasn't going to be fooled by your Tiny Toon Adventures game, Konami. I know what you're about. I'm not going to fall for this.
That's bait.
And I wish I'd played it when I was younger, because I loved the cartoon, but I wasn't willing to give the game a shot. And Riggs did a ranking video a few years ago for Konami NES games, and he gave Tiny Toons a glowing review, and I was like, you know what, forget it. I'm going to give it a shot. I'll try it now. And it's brilliant. It's an absolutely fantastic platformer. It's one of the best platformers on the NES, no joke. And it is, as is always the case with VGM when they send me something on the NES, they somehow know the games that I just overlook and I don't think about picking up. And this is definitely one of them. I never pick it up on Mata Convention because I'm always looking for something that's a little bit bigger ticket or a little bit more niche. And they sent it to me, and I'm excited to have it. It's a great game to add to a collection. Seriously, if you love platformers and you love NES platformers in particular, this one toes the line between being a fun platformer while also having a very good challenge. So it's definitely worth checking out, definitely worth playing. I really, really love this one and very excited to have it in my collection.
They're tiny, they're toony, they're all a little loony, and in this cartoony, they're invading your TV. They're comic dispensers, they crack up all the sensors. Our Tiny Toon Adventures bring a dose of comedy. Yeah, all right, so what's going to happen now is I'm going to make an ass out of myself. I'm going to go total these all up. I already did that first part. I'm going to head over to price charting, total these all up. We'll find out if I came out ahead, came out behind, or if I was right on the money with value. All right, I am back, and I am pretty much right on the money with what I spend every month. Value this month comes out to $52.25 as of the recording of this video's values on price charting, and I am not disappointed. Getting Taz-Mania and Tiny Toon Adventures, absolute win for me. Big fan of those. You guys know I love licensed games, so not disappointed to have those at all. Looking forward to trying out The Incredibles and Lotus Turbo Challenge, and hey, who can deny the fact that Gyrus is an incredible arcade port on the NES? Let me know in the comments down below your favorite game I received this month. I think Tiny Toons is probably going to run away with it, and rightfully so. It's a brilliant game. But let me know. I'd love to hear from you. Let me know what your favorite game is. Let me know if you've tried Video Games Monthly out. Let me know your thoughts on the service. Let me know your thoughts on the box I pulled this month. Until next time, folks, I've been Jay. Appreciate you spending a little bit of time with me and laughing at me as I can't see a damn thing. Until next time, remember, play more games, stay square, and take care. I'll talk to you soon.